Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out White Mask Experiment by developer Sean McIlroy. This is a first-person exploration slash puzzle physics sort of game. It's a little bit tough to classify this one. Honestly, I think a lot of the realm of where this one exists is sort of in the world of an optical illusion, in that we are trying to navigate an environment that's cloaked largely in white and very starkly drawn in contrast, and we have to use objects to discern and differentiate which are the surfaces we can walk on, which ones will send us plummeting to our deaths. And it is a very pretty, very abstract, and somewhat surreal environment, and one that's definitely worth checking out. In addition to the beautiful graphical style and the art, also some pretty cool music, which is generated by the interaction of the objects that we're going to be putting into this landscape. So let's have a look at White Mask Experiment. So we spawn in what appears to be an entirely white world with a few pastel-colored, very vibrant structures, which you can't quite make out what exactly they are. So we've got a staircase leading up, and we'll see where that takes us. So a click of the mouse will reveal that we can throw these spheres, a black sphere with a white circle on it to indicate motion. That way we can get a little bit of an idea of where the thing might be moving. And these spheres actually interact with the physics of whatever the landscape might be. So in this case, we can see clearly there is an incline, so the ball rolls back down. Now that actually does interact with all the surfaces, and it is quite a lot of fun, actually, just to mess around and start spawning these suckers into the landscape in all sorts of different ways. Now, I actually spent probably about 10 minutes just building up a huge pile of these things just to see what would happen, and it actually handles the stress of that very, very well. I probably must have spawned about 1,000 of them, and it only had a frame rate hit when they all started to bounce off of each other and create a large amount of motion from each other, you know, each one reverberating into the next, and then it was like a chain reaction, like when you play billiards. So the music of the actual game has started to kick in, but normally when you bounce these spheres into each other, you'll see you get a little bit of a chime going on, which is kind of cool. So as we exit this hallway, and look at how pretty that is looking back now, very surreal but very pretty landscape. We've got this huge hall that we can actually walk through all of this, and just to make sure, we're going to keep dropping these spheres on everything to make sure it's not just a pit, because if it was, we wouldn't be able to tell, hence, you know, the white mask. I mean, it is an experiment. We're going to be learning a little bit about our ability to understand depth through color differentiation. In this case, it's a very cool concept, and I think with this color scheme, as well as the approach being so abstract and very surreal, I think it's definitely both as much a piece of art as it is a piece of entertainment. So let's go up this platform. Now, by the way, I don't have any idea where I'm going. I haven't really played this much at all. I walked to this one big room where that ball just fell down, and that's as far as I got. So let's have a little bit of a walk around and see if we can find anything particularly interesting or strange about this. Now, I don't even know exactly where our goal is, or if we have a goal, if we're supposed to leave this landscape, or if we're just supposed to explore it until we're done. I mean, it says there's a test, so that sort of implies that to me, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's keep going up. We've got the same set of colors, and it is a very coherent and consistent color scheme. I mean, these are all sort of those bright, flashy, kind of gaudy colors that you might see in, like, I want to say maybe like 1980s, like dance music album covers a little bit. I know it's a bit of a stretch, because there's obviously other genres of art where this type of thing would take place, but that's the first thing that comes to mind in my mind anyway. I mean, a little bit evocative of something like Hotline Miami as well, which was definitely trying to be over the top. And see, this is a great example of where the fact that these roll makes a big difference, because otherwise I would have thought this was just a flat incline, or a flat plane rather than an incline, I mean. And in this case, well, I can't see a single thing at all, so these spheres are all I've got to tell where the wall is, and now I see it. And I've fallen, so I guess we will be going this way instead of where I just was. Now, the landscape is particularly strange as well. The level design, a little bit ingenious in that you really have nothing to judge where these structures should be going. This is completely up to just sort of a free-form exploration. Normally, you know, you might have a few cues to be able to look at the world through. For example, if this was an office building, you might expect there to be, you know, cubicles, or, you know, a break room or bathrooms or something like this. This is nothing worldly that we can really associate with it. So, I mean, in this case, total huge gap here. Looks like we can fall down, though. And how lovely and sort of transfixing it is that the spheres tend to actually make a little bit of their own music as they smack into each other. Now, what's going on up here, though? I haven't seen little cubes like this before, so I'm wondering if these have a special purpose or meaning. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, look how pretty that is. Looks a little bit like a Kandinsky or something when we look up at it like that. Right, let's keep going. Yeah, it definitely has some, like, constructivist leanings to it, I suppose. Or Mondrian as well. I mean, both of those seem to just sort of pop into mind considering, you know, large fields of color. Would be actually quite an interesting work to classify all the different art genres that you might be able to pull out of something like this. I don't know if I'm the most capable to do it, but it could be something that you guys out there could possibly get some entertainment out of, or, you know, be able to flex your art muscle. So a little bit of a haze over there. So you can almost just barely see a difference in the quality of this wall. I guess there's an incline meeting this wall, but why is it sort of yellowy right here? Alright, can we walk in this direction? Oh, it looks like that ends. Does this... Oh, okay. I thought maybe there was going to be somewhere I could stand down there. Apparently not. What about over here? Nope. And it will just keep spawning these spheres as fast as I can hit the button. So if you really wanted to, like I said, just make a big old pile of them and then walk around in them. Because as you notice, they don't actually collide with the player, so you can go nuts with them. And it's probably a good idea that they don't collide with the player. Otherwise, you'd spend a lot of your time trying to dig yourself out of them or get pushed around by them. It probably wouldn't be all that good. Alright, let's keep going up. I'm pretty sure this is around where I need to head. If there is where I need to head anyway. At least for progress. So let's keep going up here into Lime World. Oh, okay, that was actually a pit. Probably should have been a little bit more careful there. No problem, let's go back up. Your sense of perspective gets really skewed after just a moment of doing this, because you don't even have really much of anything to compare anything else to. It's really all about just, you know, these very abstract associations that you start to make between large landscape objects. And in this case, really all you have is fields of color. You don't even have structures with definite edges necessarily. Like, at least this one has these pink stripes on it, and then there's these window frames, which aid a lot in giving you a sense of depth. But for the most part, you don't have that. This is all, you know, at any given moment here, this is just a flat plane of colors. I'm not actually sure where I'm supposed to head now, because it seems like all roads seem to lead to a pit. Makes me kind of want to maybe go backward. I would guess, if me making labyrinths in my life was any indication, probably heading in the least likely direction would be how we make progress. So go in the direction where it seems like there's nothing but white, and then maybe we can get somewhere from that. Nope, this looks like it heads off in all directions. Wait, what about here? No. Okay. Well, this is sort of coming across a little bit like the crystal caves in Dark Souls, where we would put down all of our beacons to make sure that we have a space to actually walk on. And in this case, despite having infinite beacons, I may still not have any clue where I'm supposed to be going. And this just seems to end in just another fall, so I don't think this is necessarily it either. Unless there's just something I was missing. I can jump a little bit, but can I jump enough to make this... Oh, actually I can. I didn't realize. Okay, well, that's a little embarrassing. Let's keep going. Looks like we've got more pits, so there is a little bit of first-person platforming involved here as well. Don't underestimate... Oh, I was actually up where I needed to be, and then I fell back off. Don't underestimate your ability to leap, evidently. Now, I, for one, am actually sort of an advocate of first-person platforming. I know it's gotten pretty bad rap, but I usually have a pretty good time doing it for some reason. I've played a bunch of Mirror's Edge. I think that's a pretty good version of that concept. And I'm pretty much into any adaptation of this, so in this case, I feel pretty happy about it. And I think kind of wish more people would go out on a limb and try this out. I mean, first-person platforming, it's always got this nebulous quality to it, since especially because you can't see your feet. Makes it a little bit difficult to gauge exactly where you are, but if you're decent with understanding, you know, your sense of mass in a game world, it definitely can be kind of rewarding when you pull it off well. Okay, we're getting awfully high up in the air, and I'm not sure if we're headed in the right direction. I'm going to assume we are, though, because there really aren't a lot of other options. Okay, up we go a little bit more. Should have a nice angle on the whole world. Oh, is that where we're headed? Into that circle at the end? Alright, where am I? I think this is flat right here, right? Okay. That is really pretty. And I believe there's going to be another gap. Yeah, I got to make sure I make through this jump, otherwise, I don't know, it's probably curtains for me. I don't think I'm going to make it back. I should be able to traverse this, though. There we go. And there's going to be more gaps, because of course, why wouldn't there be? Oh, and you can't even see, did you see that? How it tints? The floor starts to turn into the same color as the background, just to make sure you have no concept of perspective there when you're about to make that important jump. See that? You gotta use the edge, where the ball goes past. Hey, we made it. And the music is getting a little bit more intense. Is there gonna be another trap here? I would not be surprised. Oh, this is our crescendo. Ooh, that is pretty. And we've got a big old half pipe here for the balls to roll around in, I guess. What's in the cube? This is a very anti-chamber moment, I have to say, but I'm enjoying it. Oh, is this a... Do I have to jump this, or no? Just go down there, I guess. Oh, congratulations. You've proven your ability to traverse an uncomfortable lack of visual solids, or visible solids, therefore passing the experiment. Well, hooray. That was actually a lot of fun. White Mask Experiment, you're okay in my book. I definitely recommend it. Go ahead and have a look at it. It is totally free. You can actually play it, I think, either online in your browser, or if you want to download a client version, it is a Unity game, so, you know, it'll work in just about any environment. I had a great time. I think this is a lot of fun. You could probably show it to a friend or two and go through it together, or if you're just an appreciator of art, or if you want to mess around and spawn about 5,000 of those spheres and see what happens, there are plenty of options. But that is going to do it for another episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, please do leave your comments and any support, of course, in the form of likes if you think I deserve them. And be sure to check out all the other links aside from the game in the social media area, in the, you know, the Facebook page, the Twitter page, all of that stuff, and especially indie-impressions.com if you'd like to. Over 550 other videos that I've covered games on in this series. So if you want to go look through the site, there's plenty to see and do. And then make sure you come back again tomorrow. New episodes are every single day. YouTube.com/RockleySmile. Be sure to come back, and I will see you then. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you tomorrow. Have a good night.